Hi everyone, today is 11th of 10th of August. So I will be walking you to the trade that I took on 11th of August. So I have basically logged in, sorry, 10th of August and 11th of August. So 10th of August, I will first walk you through the charts and then I will be switching back to the logging part. So 10th of August was, we can see basically a huge bull run come in at 6th of August. So I was like not available from like 4th of August till the 9th of August, which is the 7th of August, Friday. So a heavy bull run came in, and we can see that this is resistance where the candle closing was happening again and again. So if I will be zooming in, then the candle closed again below this, and we had a breakout at this point, and then again it retested this particular point. So anyways, that's a whole different story. For so we can see that the trend was bullish, completely bullish, and this is 10th of 8th of August, and this is the 10th of August. So in 10th of August we were below this resistance, so I was looking for some sells first. And if I will see 15 minute, then 15 minute was completely bullish. This was a break of structure, a break of structure, again a break of structure, and this was the low and this was the high. And this was, if you will see, if I will zoom in a bit more, then we were having a buy to sell and an order block with an FVG. So this was an order block from where I was planning for some buys. Before that, this was the selling zone. So this was the zero point 0.5 zone for the 15-minute leg, bullish leg. So jumping back to 1 minute in order to break down the trade. So it tapped the resistance and was coming towards the downside. So I was looking for some sells before it enters the zero point 0.5 zone, which is basically this particular line. Sorry. So it tapped the resistance, then it gave some entries. So the sell to buy the breaker block formation, it never entered here. And then again we had this order block and a change. So here it basically gave us the, this was break of structure, and internally this was break of structure, change of character, and then this was the new high. So this was the new high and this was the new low, and after that again it gave a break of structure. So this was the new low and this was the new high. So this high was this low was taken out and it gave a change in state of character towards the downside. But we didn't had any confirmation, we didn't had any entry after this break of, after this change of character. So this was the typical entry point, this FEG, but it never came here. Then it again gave a good break of structure, and then it again gave a break of structure, and I was just looking and waiting for a perfect entry spot, but I was not able to find it. But once it gives this break of structure and we have this high point liquidity and an order block, a three candle FEG, a three candle sell with an FEG. So as it took the liquidity, entered the FEG, I took a 1:3 trade, and it worked like, it worked good. So I just punched in this trade and I went with on a coffee with my co-workers, and then I came back and I saw the TP. So this was a good trade without any emotional fuck ups. And then we had this 15-minute leg order block. Once it entered here, and we have that had this buy and series of sell. It closed below, above this, and I entered at this particular order block, and it indeed gave us a 1:3.7. It in fact gave us a 1:4, but our ideal is 1:3. It gave us 1:3, but I was in greed, but I didn't booked anything. And as after 1:3, I just put it at break even, and it came back in the, as the US session started, it liquidated the previous entries, and then it again gave a 1:5. In fact, a 1:6.3 as well was given. But yeah, this was my, like my perfect entry, but I didn't book that 1:3 because of greed, and I've like ended up at break even. So this was the day for 10th of August. So if I will just quickly go back to the login, then for 10th of August I took two trades. Trade one, it was trend bias, order block plus liquidity sweep setup at 1 minute, and trade two, and throughout this trade, one more I got a bit greedy, and the setup gave 1:3, but I just didn't book anything, and I ended up at break even. So this was the overall day for the 10th of August.